Because I'm joined now by Arnold Dix. He is the global tunnel expert who was in a way coordinating or giving the expert advice. Mr. Dix, welcome. You're looking like Santa Claus. The beard is great. Christmas has come early. You have every reason to be smiling. Your beard seems to have gone only a little grayer, sir, in the last 17 days. Congratulations to you and the entire team.
It's been a very big period of time for all the team. We've been working so hard, and I've got to say the excitement, the pleasure, the joy of bringing all those 41 men home has just been fantastic, just fantastic.
You know, there was a feeling, Mr. Dix, that this could take longer. What enabled you and your team to achieve what many thought would take a month or more in just 17 days?
I think the biggest thing, and I know this was very difficult for a lot of people to understand, was we were so fixed, so absolutely focused on making sure that all the men were safe and that nobody got hurt while we were doing the rescue operation. And I think that focus was a very big burden because the technical and engineering and the challenges we faced were enormous. So that's probably the biggest challenge was just always keeping our eye on the mission, always keeping our eye on the objective that we needed 41 men home safe and no one injured in the rescue. That was hard, and it was hard because people were saying to us, why aren't our loved ones home? Why haven't you done it faster? And we had to be very steady as a group because we had, all the experts from India, from the army, the federal government, the state government, the rescue services. Like, we had so many really talented people at the table, and we were so careful. Like, every decision we made, we would balance it up. If we do this, how will that impact other options that we've got for getting these men home safe? If we do this, what could this compromise our ability to do something else? So I think that was the challenge, and it was something that we really embraced as a team, that we should be steady, that we should be considered, and that we should choose the very best option based on the new information that we were getting. And you would have seen over those period of days what looked like failures, where we'd try something and it would fail. Mm-hmm. But actually, we were learning. We were learning what the mountain liked. We were learning what the mountain didn't like. We were learning how the rocks behaved. We were learning more and more about the conditions on the side where the men were trapped. We were learning more about the conditions on the side where we were. And at the same time, we were doing a host of very technical analysis of the vertical axis, where the drilling rigs were on the surface, doing ground penetrating radar, special electronic measurements that go down through the earth. We even used I think it was a Japanese satellite through the Italian authorities, providing us with the latest high-tech satellite-based imagery of the area where the problem was. Mm-hmm. We were so careful because in the end, mm-hmm, we wanted 41 men home safe and no one hurt, because that was our mission. It wasn't go fast. It wasn't do whatever one person thinks. It was coordinating it. So I think that was the challenge.
That's a wonderful detailed answer you've given me there, Mr. Dix. I just love the way you're saying that every step was with one idea: no worker safety should be harmed at any cost. What, though, for you, sir, was the turning point? Was there a point where you said, okay, we're now finally accomplishing the mission? Was it when the rat miners got in and did the last stretch manual digging? What was that turning point for you when you were absolutely confident that this will be a fully successful mission?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question, and it provides a window into how I think. For me, the turning point was when the 41st person passed me. That is, for me, I the mission, as far as I was concerned, and I think the team would agree, the mission was only complete, and the turning point was only when we had 41 men safe, because what we'd learnt over the 17 days was that anything could go wrong. Like, everything went wrong. Everything that was that we were expecting, often the things we expected just didn't happen. The equipment wouldn't work properly. The ground would be different than we expected. Whatever it is would be So for me, not until I had 41 men safe was I breathing a sigh of relief, because we'd seen it before. And you might recall during that period of time, we'd had, we were getting a lifeline, and we've almost got the lifeline there. And then the lifeline, I've got to work out where my camera is, the lifeline, instead of going across, went up. I don't even know why it went up, but it just went up. Or we'd hit a piece of steel and we couldn't get through it. Or just, it was like we were being teased. Just when we think our mission was accomplished, something would go wrong and we have to start again. We'd have to, the trenchless machine would blow up, the bearings would blow up, the clutch would blow up, it would rip itself out of the ground. It would dive. The vertical drilling that we were doing on the mountain, the one that we thought would be easy, it blew up at 70 metres. Like, it blew up just before its mission was complete. So for me, until there were 41 men that I actually saw, so not someone told me, so I had my back against the wall behind all the families, and I was counting the men as they came through. Until I had 41, the mission, for me, there was no breathing easy.
Fascinating, Mr. Dix. What would you, though, say about your Indian colleagues? You've traveled across the world as a tunneling expert. Are you remarkably impressed with the way India rose to the occasion, whether it was the rescuers, the government of Uttarakhand, government of India, the Prime Minister's office, the rat miners? Are you just impressed with the way they worked together and the efforts they put in to ensure that 41 people came back safely?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if I was an Indian citizen right now, I would be so proud. And I'd be proud because, firstly, the whole country cared about 41 men trapped in a tunnel. You might take that for granted, but it's not. You shouldn't take it for granted. That just caring for your workers enough to bother to rescue them is not something you should take for granted. Not all countries would do that. Secondly, each of the authorities has their own hierarchy, their own senior people, their own experts, their own regulatory environments, and the military as well. They have their own structures and reporting and what have you. The Geological Survey, the India Coal, the rescue agencies from the state, they all have their own hierarchies, expertise. But what was amazing, and what I'd never seen before, is everybody put that to one side, and we shared ideas, and the ideas weren't, oh, this is terrible. This is what a terrible situation. No, it was, how are we going to do this? How are we bringing 41 men home safe and not hurting someone? So the mission drove all of our endeavours, all of our focus, all of our meetings, all of the way we problem solved, all the way we decided who would be responsible for what, how we coordinated. It was, as I say, I've never seen it before like this. I normally, people fight and try and show that they're the most powerful agency or they're the cleverest or something like that. But here I didn't see that, and that was really, I think, really special and something that shows the maturity that is the administrative part of India and its ability to organise itself to respond to such an incredibly complicated emergency like this.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Dix. I think we take a lot of pride today as Indians. My final question then, are you going to miss being in India, or are you going to come back for Christmas, or is Christmas going to be back home in Australia? Where's Christmas going to be?
Well, I always said that the men would be home for Christmas, and I did get a bit misquoted. Some naughty journalists said that I said they'd be home on Christmas, like 25th of December. So in my culture, in my use of English, when you say you're going to be home, like they'll be singing carols for Christmas, what I meant was, let's not rush it. If we agree, and we had agreed as all the agencies, that it's getting them home safe and also not hurting anyone in the process, if that's the mission, and given that they had food and water and medicine and all the rest of it, then actually time wasn't such a problem, because actually time would be our enemy. If we were to act impulsively, if we were to lose our sense of the value of a human life, if we were to, for example, place a lower value on a rescuer's life than on the value of a person we were rescuing, we could have gone faster. But is that really a civilized approach? Is that what a mature country would do? And that's what really impressed me, that we were able to show restraint. And in fact, the final part where the rat miners were doing their thing and the people doing the welding was doing their thing, we were going pretty much as slow as we could, because we were only excavating around 100 millimeters, right? So, got to get my camera right, about that far at a time. So that far, and then that far, and then that far. And we were doing that because when all the experts compared the information that they had, their laser surveys, their geological material, the geophysics, everything, we decided that the safest way for both the rescuers and those people to be rescued was to be gentle.
But you didn't answer my question. Where are you celebrating Christmas? I'm told today you went up to the mountains to a shrine. Where is Arnold Dix then going to be over the next month? Have you embraced India fully?
Well, I'm celebrating. I had a bit of a celebration already today, and because Christmas came early for me. So actually, I've had look. I look like Father Christmas anyway. Look, my beard is very Father Christmassy. So I went. I had a bit of a celebration. I actually went up to the mountain, to the shrine today, and that's why no one could find me, to just say a couple of thank yous, and I had a little Christmas carol as well. And so for me, my Christmas has already come, because I've got 41 of India's children home safe. So it's Merry Christmas for me already. So yes. So I'm doing it now. I'm celebrating Christmas.
How wonderful is that? I guess India lost to Australia in the World Cup finals, but you've given us plenty of pleasure, and thank you so much for that.